Hello, Internet. How's it going? Bob with Nerdy Girl coming back at you. As always, right here is Michelle with Nerdy Girl. Michelle Batto. How you doing?
Hey,
Say hello. Your stupid Superman shirt. Anyway, and then we have a special guest wearing an amazing Green Lantern shirt. As you can, there it is. There it is. Daniel Cynical Adams, lead singer of Carter Road, Bad Mama Jammas. All right, well, we'll get into that later. But hey, look, Daniel, thank you so much for coming in, man. We really, really appreciate your time. We had to get somebody in the room that appreciates Aquaman and Green Lantern for who they are, and we knew that has to be Daniel. We had to get Daniel on the line, so we did.
Good decision.
You're welcome.
Yes, thank you so much. Well, hey guys, big thing we're here for today. Talk about Batman versus Superman. It was amazing. I liked it a lot, but I guess we'll jump right into it today. I'm not going to go on my big long tangents like I normally do. I'll start with you, Daniel. Daniel, what was your level? What was your expectation level going into this movie, man? Because if it was anything like mine, it had to be way up there.
It was pretty much off the charts. Literally waited my whole life for this. So, yeah, I was hoping it would deliver.
Like birth?
Yes.
Batman versus Superman? No?
My earliest memories are getting Superpowers toys.
Hey, there you go.
On Christmas morning. So, yeah, literally as far back as I can remember, I wanted to see this movie.
Ooh, man. Michelle, what was your level? Like, where were you at on this one?
I was very, very excited when they first announced it. Right? Bo was excited too.
Bo, yeah, Bo. Sorry, Bo. You have to hold on this one, bud.
I'm about to say, Bo was excited too. Yeah, I was stoked for it to come out. I loved Man of Steel. So, yeah, I was pumped. And I love Zack Snyder and everything that he does. So, yeah, I went in very optimistic, into the movie, and I didn't read really much at all about the movie because I didn't want to, get spoiled about anything or sway my decision anyway of what I was going to think about the movie. So yeah, I had pretty high expectations for it, and I feel like Zack Snyder and the cast delivered.
I mean, yeah, big same thing for me. Especially like Daniel said, waiting my whole life, growing up, hiding my comics so people didn't know I had them, or tell them not being in those conversations with your friends because you don't want them to make fun of you and things like that. You're thinking I'm never going to get to go see a movie like this. Never thought I'd see Avengers. Never thought I'd see any of the type of movies that we're getting to see in the golden age of comic book movies that we're currently in. But I mean, man, my expectation level was so high going in. I was scared, excited. I just couldn't wait to get in there and see it. I don't know, man. I was pretty much shaking. And the trailers usually take a while, and I like trailers for movies. It felt like I was sitting through an hour and a half of trailers. I couldn't wait for this movie to start. Like, I needed it. It had to happen. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, yeah, it was insane for me. And then, of course, we went through the whole thing with Batfleck and everybody freaking out and then not freaking out. And everyone's, you name it. There was so many different levels of excitement and worry all at the same time for me with this one. I mean, for me, I didn't really delve too far into it. Long story short, I was really excited for the movie. But, I mean, Daniel, what was somebody, I'll tell you what, you can pick anybody you want on the cast. I mean, we're rapid firing on this one. What was, if you could pick one person, which I know is going to be tough, man, who was somebody that really stood out to you in this movie, man?
Henry Cavill as Superman, Clark Kent. I don't feel like he's getting nearly enough love for this movie.
He's not really Superman, Phil.
He didn't have a lot of stuff to do as Clark Kent, but what he did, I feel like he made it count. The moments with Lois were really good. Him arguing with Perry, about wanting to do the stories that matter, and he wanted to. It kind of harkened back to the early days of Superman in comics, where he stood up for the little guy and he wanted to make sure everything was fair. I mean, a lot of people say, oh, we want that Superman that's all about truth, justice, and the American way. Well, you definitely got a Clark Kent that was that way.
Definitely.
And when he put on the suit, I mean, he just wanted to help people. That was his top priority. You know, the Day of the Dead scene is amazing. You know, I feel he's unfairly called wooden at points, or dour, even depressed, conflicted. I don't know, but to me, he felt stoic. He felt above most of everything. He may have questioned what the people thought of him, or what other people thought was the right thing to do, or, you know, whether what he was doing was worth it. But he never questioned at any point in the movie I saw about himself whether that was the right thing to do. He knew what he wanted to do. He knew what was right, and he did it. And he did it without hesitation. Like, the best scene of him, to me, is when on the news they're talking about, you know, the burning house, and somebody says, I can't believe they're just going to let that girl die. Yeah. And without a second's hesitation, he is just gone, and he's already on his way to South America to get that girl out of that house. And he does. Yeah. And that's Superman to me. So I thought it was great.
I'll throw one in on that one. I mean, that's some great points in there. I mean, for me, I saw the movie twice so far. The first time I watched it, I mean, hey, look, spoiler Batman here. Just letting everybody know there's going to be spoilers in this. So you have 5 seconds of spoiler Batman, and then we're going to dive right in. Okay. So the big thing for me the first time running through it with Henry was the scene where with the senator and everything, and it explodes, right? They're in the room. Whole room explodes, all these people. And then he's sitting there, like you said, stoic. And my first run through, I'm like, where's Man of Steel? Just pure emotion, like just anguish for all this thing around you. Where is it? I'm thinking Man of Steel emotion. And then as I started to think about it, and I watched it the second time, that's the heart of the movie there. Like, he's just all the time, there's conflict around him. There's never a time where he can ever be anything other than that, unless he's with Lois, in my opinion. But you know what I mean. That was a big swing in the movie for me, was seeing him just stoically stand there in that fire like that, and not overreact, and not go out and look for revenge or anything. He's Superman. That's Superman. So other than getting his ass kicked by Batman, but that's a whole other thing. Michelle. So Michelle, who's somebody who really stood out to you in this one?
Well, besides Henry Cavill, which I think did an amazing job too, Wonder Woman was perfectly casted, I think. Is it Gal?
Yep.
Gal Gadot.
Gal Gadot.
Oh, I feel like I messed up her last name. She perfect. Like, all those haters that were saying that, you know, physically she wasn't going to look the part, screw them. I mean, she looked great. I felt like she acted great, not only as Wonder Woman, but as Diana.
No,
like, was like, she owned the screen when she was on the screen, I thought. Mm-hmm. I loved her dresses, by the way. But loved her fight scenes. Like, I feel like they gave us just the right amount of Wonder Woman in this movie to tease for the Wonder Woman solo movie. Like, they did perfect amount of her in there. Like, they didn't overdo it or anything. I loved it when she was fighting Doomsday, and that little smirk comes on her face. Like, absolutely. All right, okay, I got this. Like, yeah, blown away by her. Like, she was great. I got chills when she, like, showed up and...
Our theater stood up and clapped. Everybody did in that part. Everybody.
It was amazing. Like, they did that part perfectly.
It kind of shocked. It didn't shock me, but it really surprised me to see the other side of her, like her and Bruce, you know, interacting and things like that. And that's something I never thought about that. Like, you know, you're thinking she's there. She just happens. This is maybe going to be a cameo spot until the end of the movie. Because we all with the trailers, we all knew she was going to show up in that final fight anyway. But to see her going through the same kind of stuff Bruce is going through to get that information back from Lex, yeah, it was a bunch of more layers to her there. So yeah, I'm actually really excited about that movie. I'm ready to see it. Like, I really want to see that one.
Yeah.
I'll say for me, the biggest. I know he catches a lot of flack. I think on both sides. I think Jesse Eisenberg did a fantastic job in this movie. I think he took a character that everyone's so used to, the suit and the bald and the straightforward. He's going to be evil, the business side of it, and he took him and he really spun something different out of it to me. Yes, it was a little Joker-esque. Yes, it was a little bit like the Riddler. There was a little things in there that you can complain about all you want, but overall, if you look at the character, to me, he gave me chills during the movie. He hit every point that I wanted him to hit, and he was just evil. He was freaky. He was evil. He hated Superman like he's supposed to, and he almost got the job done. Well, I guess he did technically. He did get the job done.
And he made some damn fine sweet tea.
Yeah, and he made me want a Cherry Jolly Rancher. I didn't want him to feed it to me, but I really did want a Cherry Jolly Rancher. I was like, man, I really want some Jolly Ranchers now. And then I was like, no, I don't want any. I'm good.
You don't know where that Jolly Rancher's been.
Yeah, I mean, he just got done shooting baskets. He probably slapped some dude on the butt playing basketball, and the next thing you know, he's just a handful of Jolly Ranchers just feeding it to a senator. I'm like, no.
You can swallow half of it and turn it into Doomsday, too. I mean, who knows?
Ooh.
Yeah?
I like that.
You got to think outside the box.
Yeah, you got to. Yeah, definitely. Oh, man. Well, I'll tell you what, Michelle, why don't you, I'm taking over the show here. Michelle, why don't you, what's next on the old agenda there? What you got going on?
I was going to have us touch base on, our favorite parts, your favorite part of the movie, least favorite part of the movie, favorite nerdgasm part of the movie. But why don't you start, Daniel?
My favorite part, hands down, no questions asked, Aquaman showing up. Topped everything I've ever seen in a movie theater. I'm a little biased. I never, of all the things I thought we might see, I never thought I'd see that. And I definitely never thought if we got Aquaman in a movie, he would be handled seriously. I figured it would be like an extended Family Guy joke, and I would want to burn the theater to the ground. But thankfully, Snyder stepped up to the plate and delivered. He's a little Rob Zombie, but he works. He works. Nobody's going to be making fun of this Aquaman.
Yeah. I don't think anyone's going to be messing with him. If someone's going to cosplay as that guy that size, I don't think anyone's going to be like, you're Aquaman. I think they're okay. I love that. I love that they changed it up. I haven't heard a single complaint about that whole little sequence. I loved it. It was perfect to me. He doesn't need to. I mean, I know he gets a bad rap from the '60s stuff and things like that in his old school suit and stuff. And the Family Guy jokes, while they were funny, I could see why they're pretty annoying because the dude has such immense and such amazing powers that he never gets taken the right way. To me, I don't know, but yeah, I was so super excited about that. I'll tell you my favorite / nerdgasm moment. I think was probably the part, I mean, it was pretty early in the movie. Like, the cops are walking in, shotguns, they're ready to go, and I'm instantly thinking Dark Knight. I'm like, okay, or Dark Knight Returns. I'm thinking this rookie cop and this older cop are going to go in here, and then we're going to see the old grizzled Batman. And sure enough, there's a cage full of, I guess, people who have been human trafficked and whatever. They've been doing stuff to these poor women that are in this cage, and you're thinking, well, they want to get out, right? No. They want to stay because there's something still there, and the cops don't know what it is. And then you get the scene where the guy getting branded, and when you see that brand the first time, from the reason it was a big aha moment for me, or nerdgasm moment for me, is you're dealing with a completely different Batman at that point. You don't know what lines there are for him to cross in my mind. As soon as I saw that brand on that guy, I don't know what I'm going to get. I didn't know if he was going to kill people. I didn't know what he was going to do. I had no idea, and I love that. That was why it was a nerdgasm moment for me.
Batfleck had zero chill in this movie.
Oh.
Right.
Man. I've never seen somebody dramatically open letters like that. When he's watching on TV, just. But he didn't yell for anybody.
I don't think I could pull that off.
Just the whole. So
acting,
right? Yes, and scene. So, I mean, what about you, Michelle?
My favorite part. Well, I had a lot of favorite parts. Obviously, like Wonder Woman showing up in full gear was like a big favorite part. I think like the big like nerdgasm part though is spoiler, when the Flash showed up through the time portal.
Oh yes.
Oh.
Also because I really like, wibbly wobbly timey wimey stuff. I love.
Of course.
I love
and mermaids and
red things.
And red things.
So I love that aspect of it, how they threw the whole potential of time travel in there. Like, I remember when Flash came through, and I'm sitting there with David sitting next to me, like, oh my god, are you watching this? Are you watching this happening? Are they doing Flashpoint? What's happening? Like, I was freaking out in theater, and Dave was like, watch the movie. So yeah, I loved that, and I loved how they threw that in there, and a couple other things that you don't know what direction the Justice League movie is going to go in because of the way that they threw all that stuff in. So that was my favorite.
Justice League movies.
Yeah. Oh man, I think me and Daniel are on the same page with Justice League. I'm thinking Atlantis is probably the main focus in Justice League 1, if I had to guess. I mean, I think I was reading the stuff that you put on there the other day on Facebook, but yeah, I kind of agree with that. I think it's going to be, surface dwellers versus the Atlanteans, pretty much in the first one. So I don't know what you guys think about that.
I think Aquaman will be caught in the middle between crazy Orm and Batman on land, because Batman, according to Zack Snyder, is going to be pulling the Seven Samurai together. He's going to go out and recruit everybody. At some point, he's got to knock on Aquaman's door. And if Arthur's not the one that answers the door, it might not be such a pleasant experience. And if they do that, I really hope Orm's right-hand man is Black Manta, because if we get a live-action Black Manta on screen, I may actually die. Because I'm good at that point. I've seen all I need to see.
That's how it goes. It's nerdgasm and then death. That's the level. So it's just like, what? And then you just go over. That's how it normally goes. So, but man, there's so many different. We're talking about all the cool stuff and who we liked and who we didn't like. Or we didn't get to who we didn't like. So let's do that.
Did we do our least favorite part?
What's that?
Did we do our least favorite part?
No, that's what I'm going into right now.
Continue.
So you just Superman that segue all up for me, Michelle. Good job. Now I got to save it. Now I got to Batman it all up. Sheesh. Anyway.
I just build you up.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So, yeah, we're going to – this is probably going to be the short part because we're going to talk about anything we didn't like. And normally I would kick it over to Daniel. I'm going to start because mine's probably going to be the longest.
Okay.
Sorry in advance. Spoiler Batman. You don't listen, DC. You don't kill Superman, in my opinion. You don't kill Superman in the first, so early. You've blown, in my opinion, any, solo Superman movies going forward by doing that. But, I mean, it doesn't mean that I'm not going to go see your movies. I'm going to give you all my money. You can have my money. But at the same time, I didn't have that same build-up as when I read The Death of Superman because of it. I had that build-up of him going through all those characters and Doomsday just plowing through everybody. And then next thing you know, there's that final confrontation with the big man, right? So I had that build-up. You introducing Doomsday didn't bother me at all. I just really think they could have saved him maybe for Justice League 2. And maybe him and Apocalypse. Apocalypse uses him, anything, and then kill off Superman. That was my one and only gripe, was I think it was just too soon to kill him off. Other than that, even with that, love the movie. I'll be the first person in line to buy it on DVD. I'll probably go watch it a third time if I get a chance to. But that was my one and only gripe. Daniel, did you have any?
Well, I have the exact opposite take on that you do.
Interview's over. All right, guys.
for
So
joining us.
there's no need to change or any other opinions in this.
I felt they had almost written it from the beginning of end of Man of Steel where he had to die early, because that was the only way they were going to get Superman in a place where the world could accept him without question, because there's no way the most cynical person on earth could question a guy who would literally sacrifice his life for people. So at the end of that movie, they know where Superman stands, and I don't think it's a coincidence that every time he tried to plead his case in the movie, he gets interrupted, either by Lex or Doomsday or Batman. He's trying to plead with Batman, listen to me, we've got to talk about this, my mom's in trouble. Before he can get any of that out of his mouth, Batman's already shooting, kryptonite grenades at him. So I feel like he's obviously coming back.
Yeah.
He'll probably come back in the first Justice League movie. It'll probably be a huge plot point. They'll probably know that they need him to fight Darkseid later.
Yeah.
And when he comes back, I think a lot of Superman fans who felt like they haven't quite gotten the Superman will finally get that Superman, because he's actually been set up that way. But the way Man of Steel was framed, you couldn't get there unless you went here. That's just my take.
I feel you on that. I mean, I guess my only problem with that is, too, let's say you do have another solo Superman movie, or even he comes back in Justice League. I don't feel like there's any stakes for Superman at all at that point, other than lose Lois, become evil. I mean, really, there's no stakes. Like, who are you going to throw at Superman that would then kill him again? That's really the worst you could possibly do, or kill someone he cares about, or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's my only problem that I really had with that, because I just felt like I would be watching another Superman movie going, well, what's the worst they're going to do to him?
Yeah. Well, to me, if you need the stakes that Superman might lose, you're writing the wrong Superman movie.
Yeah, I hear you. That definitely. You haven't swayed me. I'm stubborn. I'm very stubborn. I've tried many diets. And anyway.
As far as least favorite, the only complaint I really had is a subjective one. I'm not sold on Ezra Miller as Flash yet. I don't really mind him, the actor, and I think he's great in that scene where he's that Crisis on Infinite Earths Flashpoint thing where he's going through the portal and he's trying to talk to Bruce. Like, he sounded like Barry Allen. He acted like Barry Allen. But in the clip in the convenience store, he looks like a dirty hippie off the side of the road.
Yeah.
That does not look like Barry Allen.
So they called him up and said, hey, we got to film this scene real quick. Get in here.
Right. But that's more my hang-up than an actual critique. But that bugs the crap out of me. And I hope he, at least for the love of God, shaves that freaking mustache. Because that is outrageous. It's got to go. That is crazy. When he's in the suit and he's still got the thin porn stash, really, what? Why? Yeah. Why does that have to be a thing? So.
Well, much like when Batman had his foot on Superman's throat, and he then allowed him to talk. Michelle, you can go ahead and talk now.
Jeez. My one thing that I laughed about was when young Bruce started to fly with the bats.
Oh, the dream. Shut up.
A dream.
You didn't know that at first.
Well, yeah, it took a little while.
It took away from that serious moment for me. So I was like, I felt really bad for the kid. I'm like, oh, I know the whole story, whatever. Then all of a sudden, I was like, come on. I busted out laughing.
And he's like, and the bats lied to me.
And
to a place I didn't want to go.
Right. And I was like, okay. I mean, I was like, me and David were just like, what is happening?
I had the same reaction the first time. I mean, now I get it. I get what he was going for.
Right.
And it works. But the first time you see it, you're like, whoa.
It takes you back for a second. It's like,
yeah. Like, this is some crazy bats.
With this? What is happening? What are they trying to do here? So, yeah, that's my only.
Yeah, I get that.
Still, I'm the same with Daniel, though, with The Flash. Like, I heart Grant Gustin as The Flash so much.
Yeah.
And I know that, his Barry Allen doesn't fit in with this movie, but he's Barry.
Yeah.
Like, he's Barry Allen. Okay.
I definitely hear you on that one. I mean, I like I said, I mean, no, I have a question. Do you guys think there were too many dream sequences? I'm cool with the dream sequences. I think that was a really good way for them to set up a lot of stuff that they really didn't have time to kind of throw in there. But I've heard a lot of people say they thought there were too many dream sequences. I don't think that was the case.
Well, I feel like people that haven't read the comics or seen movie, they were very confused.
Yeah.
The fact that we know different subplots and different story arcs and stuff, we were all like, oh my God, I can't believe they're showing this or doing this story arc. But for other people, I can understand the confusion and them going, what the hell was that? What does that mean?
Like, what are you doing?
Because the whole movie, I think me and Daniel talked about this, how it reads like a graphic novel almost, instead of like your typical movie. So it did confuse some people. So I feel like some people had to like go and like look up things and be like, what the heck was that?
I don't think it was any more confusing than Thanos at the end of Avengers. Because if you weren't a comic nerd, you have no clue what the hell that's even about.
Yeah. I was the only one in the theater going like, right. And then the people behind me.
Tag at the end of the movie. These dream sequences were all throughout the movie. I could see how it could confuse a non-comic book fan or comic book reader, but I think it still works in that it just reinforces why Bruce is not only losing his mind, but why he is so terrified and out of it that he's crossing his own lines and breaking his own rules.
Yep.
So I think it's necessary in that context, and I also feel, and I hope that the 3-hour director's cut rated R Blu-ray will tie some of these things together a little better for your casual viewer. But I'm never going to complain about seeing parademons on a damn movie screen.
Nope.
Right.
So as for me, I thought they were great.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they made the movie for the comic book fans. If they're kind of just like, if you don't read comic books, oh well.
My heart doesn't break for people who don't get it, to be honest with you.
Right. Like
I hope they can enjoy it at some point, but I'm not losing sleep. I got what I wanted. That's probably selfish, but I don't care.
No, I mean, you make a movie, like if you're making a movie for critical fame, that's one thing. You're making a movie for fans of something, that's a whole other monster. And I think they definitely hit on all the points that we wanted to see. I mean, we can sit here and nitpick things. I can sit here and nitpick things all day long about anything. But at the end of the day, I'm thankful more than anything that I got to sit there for 2.5 hours and watch something I never thought I would see.
Right.
And watch Batman literally punch Superman in the face.
Yes. Yeah, and then
repeatedly, Michelle.
Repeatedly, yeah. Yeah. It's pretty much a whole fight of how you like them apples kind of a thing, and then it was nice. I enjoyed it. Sorry, Michelle. It's okay.
My favorite part was when he was punching him, and then he couldn't punch him anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like he needs without the sun's radiation, he would have just continued to get punched.
I'm far more on Batman's side than Superman's side, but that was pretty.
But that was I'll admit it. Well, I'll admit it. He went and then after that he went, okay.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Be back.
Just kidding.
He knew what the score was at that point.
He knew he was in trouble. Well, the time has come. Official rating time. So, out of 10, what you got, Daniel?
As a person who watches movies, I'd get a 7.5. As a comic book fan, probably an 8.5.
Ooh.
Yeah, I can't give it a 10, man. I'm hoping and expecting Justice League to be a 10.
Mm-hmm.
I can't give this movie a 10 because it was. I don't mind that it was set up for the sake of setup, but it's set up for the sake of setup. I mean, that has to be considered.
I hear you on that one.
Yeah. So as a whole, for what it is and for what we've seen so far, not based on the director's cut that we could see, whatever. Yeah, I give it an 8.5, somewhere around there.
Gotcha. What you got, Michelle?
I give it a 9.
All the way around, nothing wrong with that. I had to go.
I always want to strive for the goal. 10. Always been one more.
Yeah, I had to go 10. No, I'm just playing. I had to go. I had to one up you. No, I had to go with a 9. I mean, it really was. I don't know why I can't give it a 10. I can't really pinpoint why it's not there, but I don't really know what it was. I didn't have any problems with it. I walked out fully satisfied, I guess is the best way I could put that.
Just because Batman didn't say the line.
Yes.
He didn't say in your darkest moments, you know who the man was that beat you.
Yes.
That's why it is, man.
I'm not even joking. You seriously just answered it for me.
Uh-huh.
I've been thinking about it for weeks, but
I waited for that the whole movie, and I was like, God, really?
Yeah, like, oh.
I mean, we had the moment when he scratched him on the cheek, and I honestly think that Batman wasn't going to kill him. Because I think at that point he was like having to face it, and I don't think he was going to go through with it. But I think he was thinking in his head that line, and I was like, just freaking say it, man.
Well, hey, I'm just glad we all enjoyed it. It was fantastic that we got to even have this conversation about it. I mean, unfortunately, our time's coming to a close. But hey, Daniel, tell the good people out there where we can see you guys coming up soon. You got a show coming up here soon, don't you?
We do. May 14th, we have a show in Byram at a place called Reed Pierce's, and that's with Carter Road. It's a cover band, 70s, 80s rock, 90s rock, mostly 90s rock, but we kind of do everything now. Like, I mean, we did a Taylor Swift song last gig. We do some Katy Perry too, so it's not
nice.
A lot of frat gigs, a lot of sorority shows, so we branch out a good bit.
Oh,
you can find us on Facebook, Carter Road Band, and my original music with the Bad Mama Jammas. You can find us on Facebook.com/Bad Mama Jammas, and we're on iTunes, Spotify, everything. We have an EP out. We should have two albums, one which is a double album, so that's almost like 3 albums by the end of this year.
Cool, so man.
Excited about all that.
I don't have any albums. I sing in the shower a lot.
You don't even have a family album?
No. Michelle has like a 1990s vacation video of me somewhere.
That kind of counts.
I'm embarrassed of that. But other than that, yeah, my dad thought it would be funny to walk in the shower with the old school camcorder.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just pretty rough.
So this is like National Lampoon's Vacation?
Yes. Except nice. I'm not.
You came out all sultry. Bah, bah, da, bah. Oh, jeez. That's a million hits on YouTube right there, man.
I mean, we're trying to get followers. What better way? We convert that over to digital pronto. So
got to be in HD or it's just not the same.
But seriously, man, thank you so much for stopping by and hanging out with us and talking about some Batman v Superman.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, dude, anytime, please. Oh, and by the way, there's a theme song coming out.
There is.
I can't wait. I'm so excited. Yeah. I can't wait. It's going to be my ringtone on my
lots
phone.
of bells and whistles. Maybe literal bells and whistles.
Wow.
Dude, anything. I'm excited. I can't wait. You got anything, Michelle?
Good themselves.
You got anything before we head out, Michelle?
No.
No? Okay, well, no.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to,
I would like to give one.
Follow, Daniel and his band.
I would like to give one shout out to how I got into podcasting the world to begin with, the Fire and Water Podcast Network. Lots of great stuff on there. Firestorm Fan, which is a Firestorm blog, the Aquaman Shrine, Shag and Rob run those respectively, and they've collected a lot of other podcasts from around the world of geekdom, so to speak, and made a nice network. And God, there's like 20 freaking podcasts on there now. They're all good, all great people. It's a really awesome network of friends that we've all met through that. But it all started with the original Fire and Water Podcast, which is a team of a Firestorm and Aquaman because they were trying to pick the most obscure / specific podcast award, I guess. But you should definitely check that out because those are
definitely need to put their info.
Yeah, we will. We'll put it on there.
Yeah, so people can find it.
Yeah. Well, all right, guys. Hey, once again, thank you all so much for stopping by. You're welcome for not having an hour-long video. And we'll talk to you guys again soon.